So I played one of the first day ones of Borgata Pure Grind. I played it on Thursday, and I bagged a little bit over 500k. We started with 75k, so it was a pretty deep stack, which allowed me to play some hands. This was very early. 7-10 of clubs. I'm in the small blind. Lately, I've noticed that, big blind or small blind, you're closing out the action. There's a lot of players in. Raise or no raise, you should pretty much play almost any two cards. These are not the worst, but I've been, every time I fold, I feel like I would have, 3-8 off, I would have flopped, two pairs. So this time I make the call, and the flop comes out. With two clubs. I'm not drawing to the nuts, and there's a lot of action. I mean, the guy who had initially raised makes like a pot-sized bet. I think he bet 4K. This is like early on, 200, 300 blinds. And pre-flop, he had raised to maybe 800, 900, and there was another player. They both called 4K, and okay, I'm like, I'll draw a card. I call. The turn comes out, Jack of Spades. I don't hit, but I've kind of like an inside gutter, draw two now here. And again, he bombs the pot. He makes 16K, 16K, comes to me. I have a chance of, very close to pot odds for me to call. But I'm not, drawing to the nuts. So I put in the call. There's a lot of money in the pot. The river is a club, so I hit my flush. I'm ready to make any call, but I'm in the worst position there is. So I decide to check, with the idea that I'll call no matter what they bet, and if they bet a lot, and I have to go all in, I'll go all in. But they both check, and first guy has set of queens. Second guy has a set of eights, and they both turn their cards over. I'm thinking I wasn't slow rolling. I just didn't think, wasn't sure because I don't have the nuts. So I turned over my flush, and I picked up a pretty big pot, which allowed me to kind of be able to stay patient and play my game, most of the rest of the way. Another interesting hand. There were a lot of interesting hands. It was good because I was getting playable cards. And even when I stretched my starting requirements for hands I want to play, I was able to hit some flops. It's not like I was running great, but nothing bad was happening. So this time I have 8 Jack of Diamonds. I'm in a late position. There's been a raise and a call. I'm not closing out the action, but I was close to the button, not quite the button. So I decide 8 Jack of Diamonds. I put in the call, and one of the blinds calls, and the flop comes out King, King, Jack. I have 8 Jack of Diamonds, and it gets checked to me. So I put in a small bet, about a half pot size. Two of the players go away, but the initial aggressor stays in. And the turn is a king. So now I have a boat. But he leads out with a bet. I don't buy that he has a king. So I decide, all right, I'm just gonna call. And the river comes out a blank card, a 6. He puts out, I think this time he checks, or he puts out a small bet. I think I'm good, but I'm not putting in a bet. I have, a hand with some value. So I say, I turn over my jack. I don't believe you have a king. He turns over pocket aces. So he had a bigger boat than I did, and I lost this one, but it wasn't too costly, and it was worth going to the river and seeing with a boat. I'm only worried at that point of king, aces, or queens. The only cards that beat me, but he had one of the hands that did beat me. So a couple more interesting hands. There were a lot of we played for a long time. We were in the bubble for over an hour and a half. we played to I think level 21, and the day before the other flight had finished at I believe level 15. So there's an opportunity to play a lot of hands. But before then, another one of those hands, I was dealt nine queen of hearts. I believe I was big blind. There was a raise and a call, so I close out the action and I call, and the flop was pretty interesting in that. I had, a major draw in there. I had a flush draw, and a straight draw. Action, a raise and a call. Of course, I put in the call. The turn is the seven of spades. Now I'm a little bit more worried. You know, I'm worried with the board paired, heavy action. I could be behind the boat. Again, raise and a call, and it comes to me. And the river is a jack, which, it gave me the straight. But it's not the nut straight. I lose the ace queen or any, pocket kings, tens, jacks, or any of those cards that made a boat. And there was this, there was a raise, and I just put in the call, and I was up against ace king, and I beat the ace king with a straight. And it was a hidden disguise straight. The board pairing kind of scared me from getting a lot more chips, but I did get a good amount of chips there. Again, another interesting hand. These are all like speculative, fun hands to play. I had 8-10 of clubs. Again, I believe I was the small blind or the big blind. There's this is close to end of registration. So there's a lot of, max let reg players that come in around this time, or players that are, been hovering near a starting stack. So there was a raise from, early position. I believe he was under the gun, +1. And another call there. And I call, with 8-10 of clubs. And the flop comes out 8-9-10. So I hit two pair. But it's draw heavy. It's flush draws, straight draws out there. I could be behind Jack Queen here. So I put out a good bet, like a pot-sized bet. And under the gun plus calls. And the other guy who had a smaller stack, maybe had about 30K at this point. I think blinds were 612, 1,000, 2,000, somewhere 816. So it was a substantial bet, but it's not, not outrageous sized all in from him. I decide I'm going all in. I have the top two pairs. I have the stack to, call it off if I had to. And the other guy tanks for a little bit. He says, F it. He goes all in. So I have everyone covered. He turns over a king jack. The other guy had 10 jack. We flip it over. I have to dodge, a lot of cards. Queen, 7, 9, or even a jack, because, the 9s would put 9s and 10s with the jack kicker. But the flop, the board cooperates. The 3 was a safe card. And the river is a 10, giving me a boat. Not that I needed it. The 10 jack got excited, thinking, oh, trip 10s. I'm like, no, but I have, I got the boat here, and it was good. So one more hand I'm going to cover. This one didn't really play out, but it's more pretty interesting. This was near bubble, or maybe a couple away from the bubble, probably the break for level 18. So when we start the hand, I was in the small blind, and they all fall to me, and I look at my cards. I have 2 red jacks. For some reason, I decide to be tricky. I limp in. The big blind looks at me, and he puts in a big bet. He put in like 5x raise. I instantly shove. I was like, I'm all in. I have pretty big stack, over 300K, 320. He has in the 200s, 250, 260. We both have, nice size stacks. This guy, I've never seen this, goes into complete meltdown, just talking to himself. I didn't, I mean, it's just a card game, but he literally tanked there for a solid 9 minutes. I didn't, people went on break. Break was on for a few minutes, and it was still, they paused the clock. I'm still, I've never called time on anyone, so I ended up having to call time on him. But he's saying stuff like, "This is the time I usually screwed up. I played so well for so long," and then he'd just stay quiet, look at his cards, and just debate and just complete. You can see it in his face that he's just having, he's stressed out. I mean, it's just a game. It's a poker game. You make a decision. If you feel like you're good, stick it in. If you think you're beat, fold. Either way. So eventually, I say clock, and a couple of people that were watching had already left or on the table, but there's still one guy there, and the dealer was like, "Thank you," and he calls the floor over. The floor is like, "Has it been like?" He was like, "Oh yeah," and the guy just he gets 30 seconds. He gets counted down, and even after that, the guy didn't want to talk to me. Like I did something wrong. I mean, just playing a hand. Just jacks. I don't know what he folded. I mean, he can have folded aces. Did he fold ace kings? I don't think he would fold kings either. So I mean, I doubt. I mean, maybe he thinks like I'm just shoving for no reason. Maybe he has ace six suited. I don't know what he had that he had to think about it that long and stress about the fact that this is the time he blows it. I mean, he's not blowing it if he puts in aces and kings, right? Ace king, maybe it's a race, but either way, it worked out. And eventually the bubble broke because small stacks kept doubling up. I was in trouble a couple of times because I waited for so long and, playing aggressive, but I'm trying to be a little bit more humble in my game. In the sense that I'm just letting the game come to me, just staying more patient. I got dwindled down to a little bit over 100K, but in a timely fashion against the biggest stack on the table. He had about 1 million in chips. I had maybe 140, 150. I was dealt queens in the small blind, and he had raised. I call, and he goes like, I call. He turns over ace jack. My queens hold up. Orbit later again. He raises. I have ace 10 this time. I shove again. This time I have a lot more chips. Not a lot more, maybe like 160, 170. He turns, actually I had 280, so it was a little too aggressive a play, but either way, I had shown him I had a hand last time, so I'm hoping he folds, even if he doesn't, ace 10 is good enough. He says, I have the same hand, and he turns over ace jack, and I tell him, oh, this time you have it. I turn over my ace 10, flop comes out 9, 10, 10. Like, not only do I get a 10, I get two of them. And then turn was a blank card. So he paid me off a good amount. So I got me up to about 600K. We still played another, half hour, 45 minutes. So, I was up and down. I finished at 520. So Sunday we go back for day 2, and it should be fun. Nice job, everyone. Level 21, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Animals. Pretty deep, like 800 feet now.
That looked scary. That jack looked scary too. I'm like, a face card. No, thank you.
So I played day two on Sunday, and uh, I ended up busting out 16th. So got pretty far, very close to the final table. I eventually built my stack up to about 2.1, 2.2 million. It started the day at 520. So it was good, but it's a little disappointing when you don't complete the job. I played as well as I can. Just playing a solid, simple game, just like I'd done, previous day. Nothing bad really happened. Uh, I'll discuss the one hand that kind of messed me up. I think I made a mistake, but I'm not sure that I would necessarily do it differently, other than maybe fold ace 10 pre-flop, when, you know, in middle to late position, instead of, going in. But yeah, I don't regret it. You got to get a lot of chips. And the day started, it was weird in the sense that on day one, I was getting a lot of playable cards, but no big cards. By big cards, I mean aces or kings, or even ace king. I was just getting a lot of, suited connected cards. That's how I'd done most of the day. So day two was the opposite. I was getting either zero cards, and when I got cards, I got big cards. Had aces twice, and each time I got paid big time. So the very first one of these, there was a guy to my right. He had a lot of chips. He had me covered. He had over 600K. I was probably right around 480, 490, 500, somewhere in that range. Pretty much what I started the day with. And he raised on the button, and it comes to me. There'd been another caller in there. I have aces. I woke up to aces in the small blind. I think he had made it 20K, somewhere in that range. Blinds might have been 612, 4 8, might have been 4 8. He made it 20, or he made it 25, and it was 812 or 612. So I raise it, pretty big. I make it 74K. Everybody else folds. It comes to him. He puts in the call, and the flop comes out. Eight king three. It's pretty safe board for me. There's the king probably helped me, so I put in a pot size bet of like 149, 150K. He tanks for a little bit. He looks at the stack. If he put in the 140K, he would have been left with another 200 and change. So he tanks for a little bit. He puts it all in. I throw my chips in faster than he does. He was like, "Oh, you have aces?" I'm like, "Yes." He turns over ace king suited, and board ran clean. No other kings came out, and I picked up a pretty big stack. But he, cried the rest of the way that he made a mistake. I mean, ace king, suited, and you flop a king. I mean, if you don't play that, what are you playing? So other than that, other aces I had was pretty late. We're down to 3 tables, maybe less than that. We probably had like 22, 23 players. Again, I was dealt aces this time in early position. I clicked a little bit more than min raise, and a guy who'd been playing very tight. He shoved a pretty big stack, 600, 700K. I had him covered. I probably had a little bit over 1.1, 1.2. He turns over kings. I turn over my aces. He goes like, "Oh my god!" And then aces held up. The last card was jack, so it was a face card coming out is always scary. So a couple of times I had the theme of the day. Ace Jack suited. This was pretty early on. I was given Ace Jack of clubs. I raised it, and there were a couple of callers, including the button. Flop came out, 3 small clubs. I lead out a very small bet, and they both fold. I feel like in those situations, it looks more suspicious if you check or check raise, especially from early position. You don't want it to get checked back on other board pairs. So they both folded, and that was a pretty big pot. And another spot, this time against almost like a maniac player. This is maybe 4 or 5 tables left. This was pretty deep. Ace Jack of diamonds. I think I was on the big blind maybe. So he had made a raise. So I call, and the flop came out. Two diamonds with 3 low cards, and he c-bets pretty big. Think about shoving, but I'm not playing that kind of game. I have both playing very deep. I have enough flush draw, 2 over cards. I call. The turn is 6 of clubs. Get another low card. I check. He checks back. So I'm pretty happy that I'm getting a free card. And the turn, the river is a diamond, 8 of diamonds. So it's straights out there. I want it to look like I'm representing the flush. If he has anything, he probably doesn't. Either way, I go all in, and he put his hands away. So now I'm going to discuss that hand where I raise pre-flop with ace 10, middle to late position, and they all fold. In a way, I should have been probably a little bit more careful because the guy had just shown up at this table. He hasn't seen that, I'm only playing good cards and not really. I had a tight image, but he's 3-bets me, so I'm thinking ace 10. What does he have? Does he have pair? Is it ace king, ace queen? I think I made it 80K, and he made it like 180. It's like an extra 100K on top. So it's a pretty inflated pot, and this is very late in the tournament. So flop comes out, Jack, ace 3, and he leads out like a minuscule bet, not minuscule, about 15% of the pot, less than 20% of the pot. I think he put out 100K. There was some 400 and change in the pot. I have my ace 10, I hit the ace. At this point, I'm putting him on a hand like suited ace, medium pair, at best queens or kings, and he's scared of the ace. I wasn't sure. I just put in the call, and the turn comes out a 6. This time he shoves for almost 900K. So at this point it's super polarized. I don't know what to do together. There's something wrong here. So it's either he's completely bluffing, or he's got the absolute nuts. Didn't seem like a pure bluff. I think he put out a bet. I didn't raise him, so maybe he doesn't put me on the ace, and he thinks his either kings or queens are good, or he has an ace with a lower kicker. I just wasn't sure, so I tanked for a long time. I decided to put in the call. He turns over ace jack. He flopped 2 pair. He played ace jack like it was ace king or better. With the pre-flop action and then the weird action on the turn or flop. Either way, I was dominated, drawn dead, and he took away a good portion of my chips. I went down to about 1.1 million at this point, which is still not bad, but like I said, I was getting either huge cards or just going for long periods of not getting any hands. So I played one more hand after that. It was Ace Jack of Spades. There was a raise from a guy I respected. He was good. I of course Ace Jack of Spades. I put in the call. I can't put it all in because he probably has something good. I mean, he could beat Ace Jack. I got to see a flop. Flop comes out King High with two low cards. I believe there was a King 10, something else. So I had the gutter draw and one spade for a backdoor. He put out a smallish bet, third to a half pot. So I call that reluctantly at this point. And we checked it. Turn and river were checked. I didn't improve. And he turns over jacks. So I lost a pot. I went a couple more orbits, not getting anything to play or shove. Finally got ace eight, which is not great. I had about six big blinds, 6, 7 big blinds, somewhere in that range. And there'd been a raise, which is not ideal. So I put it in. He calls, turns over jacks. I don't hit the ace, and I was out in 16th place, which isn't bad considering almost 600 players played. So I'll fire again. I'll try again this weekend. And Borgata Poker Open is starting next week, and so that should be fun. 3 weeks, and I think after that, in August, Harris is going to have the WSOP circuit. But it was either way. It was fun, profitable weekend, and I feel like I'm getting close. I'm playing within myself. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Should be a fun summer.